Week 8 electric football. I'd like to thank everybody that sent kind words and best wishes for my mom. She's doing well right now, so thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. We realized that Stu could not handle the ship solo.
It was horrifying.
So we brought in reinforcements. I'm Steve Brown.
Tim Murray.
He's going to speak. He knows his own name.
And Stu Pace.
Master of ceremonies.
Thank you for coming.
So, Stu, we start off with the Dolphins on Thursday night.
All right, so I get a game 3 days after my game, an amazing win against the lowly Jets. But anyway, Fins with the epic comeback under Matt Moore. Thank you for coming in and looking like a quarterback should look like. The Ravens slide to 3-4, losing to the Vikings, which was a bit of a surprise. But each team is still struggling offensively here, and it's going to come down to the defenses. I think the Fins have a slightly better defense here. The Ravens' passing game is pretty much crap, as is the Dolphins, although the Dolphins at least have a change to see if maybe that improves. I'm going to take a homer pick. I'm taking the Miami Dolphins.
I'm going to call timeout for 1 second. Doesn't Stu's hair look really good today?
Isn't it great?
Tim's too. There's some handsome gentlemen. I don't have much to work with, but these two are looking.
My stylist gave me a new look.
These two are looking good. Tim, you want to talk Dolphins Ravens?
I like the Dolphins in this one. I think after last Sunday, there's not going to be anybody that wants to go against the Dolphins because they're riding high. Not because of the Jets' massive and towering confidence, but
or the cocaine.
I don't know anything about the cocaine. Really.
What did I miss?
The offensive line coach that got fired.
Oh, your Dolphins cocaine.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So no, and the Ravens, they're just looking weak and pale. Mm-hmm. So I'm saying Dolphins by at least 11.
Electric football sweep for the Dolphins.
Oh,
Ravens,
crap, we're going to lose.
Ravens have no O. Dolphins at least have a semblance of a running game and the threat of change in the passing game. Long-term question, do you like your coach? Because a lot of people are saying, well, he should have gone with more. You called it 2 weeks ago. He should have gone with more. Do you like Gaze?
I'm on the fence.
Really?
I was very much for him last year. First 2 weeks, even though we lost, I still thought he was making the right decisions. But after seeing Cutler in 4 games, I knew this was wrong. So I'm on the fence.
Okay. A lot of people are saying good things about him, even though the Dolphins haven't been, spectacular.
He owns the locker room. I'll have to say that.
There you go.
And that's big.
Vikings at Browns at 6-2, baby, and Teddy getting better. Teddy getting ready. Bradford's knee maybe getting steady. And Case Keenum, God bless us. We have a decent third-string quarterback who's carrying us along. He's, 188 yards, but we win. So there you go. I mean, the Browns are falling apart. Deshaun Kaiser is now out drinking, which he's following the Johnny Manziel playbook or Josh Gordon. I can't blame anybody. You're in Cleveland. You got millions of dollars and you're in Cleveland. You're going to get bored. I'm sorry. The river's on fire. You can go watch that for a while. But after that, it's going to be... So, Vikes. Tim?
I think the only person on earth that's going to take the Browns in this game just got off a bus at Port Authority. Is not going to really understand what's going on. There's absolutely no chance in hell. If the Browns put 22 guys on the field, the Vikings would still beat them by 50.
What can you say about Cleveland? It hasn't been said already. They're already done. You're 5 weeks, 6 weeks into the season. They're over. But they kept the Titans in check. I mean, this was a 12-9 game with Cleveland and the Titans.
Oh, shot to win it.
Had a shot to win it. So you never know. But clearly, Vikings better defense, better offense. Even on the road, I'm taking the Vikings.
I'm 99% sure I'm right in this stat, and please comment if I'm wrong. But Hugh Jackson is now 1-22 as coach of the Browns. And I'm pretty sure that I could come close to that same record if I was coach of the Browns.
No kidding.
It is safer as the keyboardist for the Grateful Dead.
It is unbelievable how bad that whole organization is and continues to be. Falcons at Jets. And the Falcons laid an egg last week. Jets, it was horrible.
That was good.
No, it was really bad. Jets found a way to lose, which is what the Jets do. Anybody that thought the Jets' winning streak earlier this year was a serious. The Jets can't even figure out how to tank.
They don't have a sack yet.
They don't have a sack.
They do not have a sack. Period.
There's another great stat. Why else would you watch electric football except for that kind of trenchant analysis? Falcons are definitely going to be angry. Their offense is going to be frustrated from the failure last week. I don't see a way in hell that they don't win by 14.
Well, while we are talking about the reigning NFC champions, my guys would beat them twice in a row. No, I think what you have here are the Jets. What's the difference between the Jets and a J45 Coleman tent?
What?
The Jets fold easy.
The J45
They're
is
done.
especially known for its folding
Number
problems.
15, you should be 30 because you're just twice as bad as they thought you were. Yeah, and the Falcons are good. You know, they're good. They're a good ball club. So they're going to kick the crap out of the Jets.
I'm going to take the Jets here. Falcons are on a 2-game skid. The Jets were a blunderous pass away from beating Miami. I mean, that pick was horrible. Falcons had nothing going Sunday night, and they look like a team that's not focused. I think last year went to their head. Back-to-back road games. Jets have a decent chance here, and I'm taking the Jets.
The Falcons look like a team that are really missing their offensive coordinator is what they look like.
Yeah.
Where'd he go?
Don't ask questions like that. We can never answer those. Carolina at the Bucs. And if you want to look at two teams that are underperforming, these are two good teams to turn to. I expected a lot more out of both of them. I watched the entire Carolina game, and they were listless against the Bears defense. McCaffrey hasn't been able to break the big plays that he was. Special teams or in the receiving game, can't explain that because I expected him to break off a few big gainers. But Carolina has better coaching, in my opinion. They have a core veteran leadership, and they're still in it, whereas the Bucs are quickly falling out of it. They're a more immature team, in my opinion, and I'm taking the Panthers.
I'll go here. It's the second road game for the Cats. Bucs almost beat Buffalo in Buffalo.
That was crazy.
I think missing Kuechly is huge for Carolina.
He may be back this week.
Uh,
By the way, Luke, think long and hard about retiring, dude.
Yeah.
Just think about it. I wouldn't play anymore if I was him.
I'm just going out on a limb, taking a guess. I'm taking the Buccaneers here. They're home.
Tim?
I got to tell you, as much as I detest the Panthers, I think they're going to beat the Bucs soundly. I think the Buccaneers have never really been a football team, except for that fluke year, and they won it all. I don't believe they should be a football team, and if possible, I'd like to teach them all how to play soccer. That's for you, Robbie Cocktails. I just think it's going to be a clear and decisive victory early on. We're talking 20 points by the half.
Wow, I am bucking the trend here.
Bucking the trend? Buccaneers?
Oh.
Oh!
That was not on purpose.
Speaking of bucking, what the
Your
bucket
drink
is
is
up with
bucking
this?
broken.
Baby champagne glasses.
It's a baby
Niners, Eagles.
Carson Wentz is a gunslinger from North Dakota who's going to kill everybody who faces against him and then spit tobacco on their graves.
Did you see that scramble out of the sack?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my God. He is in the middle of 9 guys, scooches out and runs for 20 yards. Great.
What I liked was the first half touchdown pass after the sack, and then just stands back there and looks Brett Favre-like in flinging a long pass to whoever that was, number 10.
Oh, in the beginning of the game?
Hookins.
Did
Right after the sack.
this kind of a dance?
Yeah.
He did the...
I identify players by their
midsection.
I identify players by their dances now. But I also like what the Eagles are doing on the defensive side of the ball. He did the Charlie Brown.
He knows the dances, and he has no $1 bills. Coincidence? I think not.
49ers are a team that has learned how to tank properly. And you got to think that they're looking at Michigan going, come back, Jim.
Yeah.
Come back, Coach Harbaugh. But the Eagles are the most complete team right now. They got a defensive line that can stuff the run and get after you. They got linebackers that'll hit you. What's not to like against the 49ers here? It's Eagles easy.
Oh, Eagles all the way. Niners are just... but the Eagles are looking good this year. And the only comfort is knowing that they're not going to lose another 2 games before the end of the season. As long as Marky Mark doesn't play Carson Wentz in the movie, I'm okay with it. We'll see you in the Super Bowl.
There you go.
Eagles put on a clinic last night, except they lost their left tackle, which is huge.
Good point.
My guess here is while they're in San Francisco, they're going to pay Joe Staley to cross over the field around halftime, become their left tackle for the rest of the year. I mean, you're 0-7. Why aren't you starting to shop your guys? It's a perfect time to meet them, get them in there. 49ers can't do anything. Wentz is absolutely on fire. That scramble, a rough first quarter, and I had him in fantasy, and I actually had -4 points in the first quarter. I'm like, what the hell? Kid's unbelievable. Eagles all the way.
Wouldn't Marky Mark play like Amendola or Edelman if he could grow a beard?
Well, it was Vince Papadelli or whatever his name was in that movie, so I figured,
How many Eagles
he still
can
has
you
the
play,
Eagles
though?
shirt. You just got to change the number, right?
How many movies about Philadelphia Eagles should there be anyway?
Well, there's one so far,
Yeah.
and the answer is less than one, so it's a negative answer.
Unless they do the Chuck Bednarik story.
My kid's in like 7th grade math or something.
Concrete Charlie.
This.
I would actually like to see that. Chicago at the Saints, and I know everyone's going to disagree with me, but I like the Bears' defense, and I like what they're doing, and I honestly think they can shut down the Saints. I'm taking the Bears. Go ahead, one of you two. One of you.
Well, since I'm
one of
taking
you
the Bears
lesser
too,
electric football
He's
commentators.
taking the Bears too.
Are you?
yeah, the Saints
Ow,
squeaked
dog.
one out against Green Bay, and they got the early jump. Meanwhile, the Bears just keep putting up wins. Nobody's picking the Bears, and yet they just keep putting the wins together. The Bears are always weak, no doubt about it, but they're opportunistic on defense, and they rank 7th in the league. Just an upset here. It's in their house. Oh, no, this is on the road, isn't it?
Yep. on the
Still
road.
going with the upset of Chicago.
Tip.
Saints.
All righty. Tim, we got Chargers at Pats.
This is going to
What
be
are the Pates?
a tougher game than it looks on paper.
Tails.
Phillip Rivers is going to come in. He's going to look okay for the first, I'd say, 12 minutes, and then forget about it. It'll be the Tom Brady show. And Patriots by, I'd say, 14.
Snoop.
Yeah, the
At least-
Chargers smacked Denver around, and the Patriots absolutely subdued the Falcons there. San Diego can't run, which makes them one-dimensional. If you're one-dimensional and you're going up against the Patriots, you don't stand a friggin' chance in the world. Patriots have righted the ship. Patriots by 14.
Yeah, Patriots have righted the ship, and they showed that by holding the Falcons to, a meaningless 7 points.
Yep.
Chargers did the same thing. I mean, Chargers shut out Denver, right?
Which was cool. I like to see that as much as
So,
they don't.
based on what they did last week, you might go, oh, this is a closer game. It's not.
It's not.
Perhaps the Patriots have gotten their defense straightened away. Even if they haven't, they can outgun the Chargers in this one. It's the Patriots.
Yep.
So what do we got? Raiders and Bills. Stu,
Right.
why don't you take this one?
Raiders with the unlikely win against Kansas City last week. If you didn't see the end of that game and you're boycotting the NFL, you're freaking a moron. Everybody say hi to Ed.
There's
Hi,
that
Ed.
guy. That's crazy Ed.
This is
Um,
Ed. He's one of the guys.
That would be it.
I would love to take the Raiders here, but the Bills are hanging tough in every game. They've got a good defense. They're at home. I don't know if Tyrod's going to be able to keep up with that offense, but I'm just going to take I'm taking the Raiders. Who am I kidding? They've got the more explosive offense.
There you go.
I'm mumbling, fumbling here.
Tim.
Raiders.
Well, if what was his name? Beast mode.
Yes,
If he can contain his temper and stay in the game,
that helps.
they'll do
Though
better.
not that
but
much this year.
I think not to do the Tyrod Carr thing again. I think that the thing with the Bills, it's like you got to adjust the timing, and once you get them running right, they're gonna play well. I think if they can get their shit together.
It's a tough place to play in,
Yeah,
Buffalo.
absolutely. I think if they have all of their parts meshing like they ought to, what you're going to see is a close game. But I think 2/3 of the game it'll be close, and then they'll just pull away at the end and forget about it.
I can see that.
How underappreciated is LaShawn McCoy, though? I mean, like,
I don't appreciate him at all.
he's not a guy that you talk up, but he's been a huge everywhere he plays. He just produces. Having said that, I was going to try and make some sort of they threw a Tyrod in the David Carr, EJ Manuel joke. Which I'm trying to work on that.
check your owner's manual for what you do with
It
your
just
Tyrod
wasn't
when your
working.
car doesn't
Put the
start.
car in Emmanuel and the
but-
Tyrod
that
broke.
was a good one.
But David Carr, like
I like
David
that.
Carr, honked the horn and woke up Amari Cooper.
Wow.
The Chiefs' defense was non-existent, especially the secondary against them. And maybe this is a pick based on last year's results, but I like what the Raiders can do. They perhaps have turned a corner here, and perhaps that offense is going to be explosive now with Carr back behind center. So I'm taking the Raiders. Colts at Bengals, and I'll take this one real quick. The Bengals definitely need a change. You watch them play the Steelers, and they were lifeless. It was just, I'm going to tackle him. So coaching change necessary, and it might be time for Dalton to find greener pastures. And I was looking at it, and I'm trying to figure out, where does he go? Like, what's a fit for Dalton? And I swear to God, the fit for Andy Dalton is the Browns. There's my opinion. If you have a better place to put Dalton, let me know.
Same colors.
Retire.
Yeah, he wouldn't have to move very far.
He'll still be a ginger.
Or the 49ers. Those were the two thoughts I had.
I wouldn't want him.
No, I'm saying there are a couple of teams that can use him. He's probably not going to accept a backup role. He's good enough that he probably shouldn't. But his time in Cincinnati is done. They're still going to beat the Colts because the Colts are luckless and awful. But it's one of those things, like, it's almost best for the Bengals if they lost to the Colts and the ownership could look up and go, yeah, we're done.
Yeah.
Like, this is embarrassing. We need to change things.
The Colts are not going to win.
Wow, that was really in-depth.
That's my in-depth. It's a crappy game.
The Bengals are the Tigers, what Hobbs was. A stuffed tiger, a toothless tiger.
I love Hobbs.
I love him too, but
Hobbs
he was non-threatening, as are the Cincinnati Bengals.
Except when he came in and tackled Calvin when he came home from school and such.
True.
He was like Kato.
Yeah.
Like that, Is this your monkey? In any event, I think it's going to be really, it's going to be a comedy of errors. The toothless tigers against the rudderless Colts.
We may actually change the name of the show to a Comedy of Errors football show.
Yeah. Because they ain't electric.
Write that down.
Houston at the Seahawks, game of the week. And before I forget, Stu,
Really?
last week was going to give you a present. There you go.
Guitar strings from Martin and
Not
Company.
only guitar strings,
They're retro.
Martin guitar strings.
They're Martin Retros.
Anyway, there you go. I'm mostly a schnurr. I mostly borrow favors off of Stu, but in this case, I stumbled on those.
You really should have a Martin to put those on.
There you go.
I did.
Oh, and that's my other gift for you, Stu.
Hooray, a $2,000 guitar!
Game of the week. If you watch this, you know I love Deshaun Watson, but I can't pick him against a fast, complex, Pete Carroll-led defense. At home, I'm taking the Seahawks in a win. For the win. To win.
Oh, Seahawks by a long shot. They're just...
Really? You don't think? I think it's a close game.
No, I think it's going to be decidedly unclose.
Okay.
Houston's off the bye. New look, high-flying, gutty offense. Gutsy offense. Is gutty a word? Gutty?
Gutty.
John Gruden used gutty
Portmanteau.
last night. It was a gutty performance. Seattle did just enough to beat the Giants, which isn't much of an accomplishment, except it was on the road. I hate Seattle on the road. I'd like to take Seattle here, but I'm I'm liking the Texans' offense right now. They're electric, and I'm taking Houston on the road in Seattle.
They're electric and we're electric. Cowboys at Washington, and somebody has to come in second in the NFC East, and I'm taking Washington to do it. I think they are a little more cohesive team. That seems to be a theme of mine this week. But Washington, even when they lose, they never really seem to get down. They always play tough. The Cowboys seem like a team that's ready to pack it into me. So I'm taking the Kirk Cousins and the Skins. The Washington team.
He said Skins.
Ooh. Damn it.
I guess that makes the Cowboys the shirts, huh?
The boys slaughtered the Niners on the road.
Yeah, does that count for anything, though, this year?
Yeah, it does, because they got their shit together. And as long as Ezekiel Elliott is running behind there, Washington couldn't stop a run against Philadelphia. This is a better running team. They've got enough passing firepower. I can't take Washington here. I'm taking the Cowboys.
I think Washington is going to do it. Every time I watch them play, I'm a little more impressed. Even when they're not performing well, the guys on the sidelines are animated. They're in the game. You look at the Cowboys.
That's what I'm talking about.
And there's
Tim Murray with the assist.
53 guys thinking of 53 other things than what's going on in the field.
They got torched last night. Torched.
No, they didn't get torched.
They got torched.
They played them tough in the first half.
For first quarter.
All right.
We're talking about the Eagles game,
I watched
right?
the whole game.
We're talking about the Eagles game. When we're talking about the Eagles game, we're talking about the Cowboys. I mean, they're not the Eagles. I mean, that's pretty. To me, that's clear.
Steelers at Lions. And perhaps I'm overplaying this hand, but I think that the Steelers have finally, on the cohesion thing. Oh, by the way, does anybody think the wrong Gruden is coaching Washington? I honestly think John would do a better job than Jay.
Well, I think
And
John's a better coach.
I hate when John talks about Jay's, like, you always feel like he knows a little bit something that he's holding back. Like you want the actual skinny from, like when they're kvetching his brothers. I'm going to use a lot of Yiddish terms this time.
Greg Brady stole the playbook?
Yeah. Well, no, like when they talk, they're like, "Oh, Cousins is a drunk and I hate him." But when he's doing Monday Night Football,
that's not true. It does not mean
I'm sorry.
That's what he said.
Cousins is a sex addict and I hate him. Whatever.
Exactly.
I know there's the grimy underbelly of the Washington team, and I know John Gruden knows it, and he's not telling it. Instead, he's doing like those stupid beer commercials. Anyway,
Dad always hated you.
Steelers at the Lions, and I'm overplaying this probably, but I think Mike Tomlin is one of the best coaches out there. I watched the Steelers destroy the Bengals. I watched the explosive plays. I watched Le'Veon Bell, who seems to have his stuff. I don't want to use the other S word. Together all of a sudden. I like what.
Why not?
I like what the Steelers can do as far as explosive plays against the Lions defense that I never fully trust. So I'm taking the Steelers on the road.
Steelers are looking really good.
I love this man. He's with me on just about every pick.
Well,
and he has nice hair.
I thank you very much. I see Giorgio.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go.
That's okay. I do it all the time. I just know I'm going to see the Steelers late in January. I'm ready for it. I still have a friend with a terrible towel. We can take pictures and post it on the internet. But they're just playing well, and there's no doubt about it. And their coach is a sly fox. That trick play they did there, that was smooth.
Tomlin's, but he's also a great leader. He's not. People talk about leadership. You look at Mike Tomlin. He's a guy that when there's a problem, it's like, it's my fault. I'll fix it.
Unless it's the headsets in New England, then it's everyone else's fault.
But he's not. No, I mean you can have your grudge. He's not a guy that goes, I take full responsibility for this. It was Stewart's fault. He isn't. He keeps shit in house. I love the way he runs a program. I just love it.
It's a great organization.
Sorry.
Yeah. Steelers. The Detroit is struggling in every phase of the game, as they always do at this time of the year. They're you get all excited in September, and then October you're going, all right, we're Detroit. It's the Steelers.
Okay.
That's why Fords are so easy to lease and then get rid of.
We finish it out with Broncos at Chiefs, and yes, the Chiefs secondary took a week off last week. When you give up 200 yards to David Carr in the first half, you're probably not having your best game.
Especially when it's Derek.
Derek Carr. Did I say David Carr? I said that twice. Jesus, I'm not.
3 times.
David's in the booth.
3 times a charm.
3 times. I almost Googled David Carr to find out who he was.
Sorry, folks.
Especially sorry, Dave.
Not at my best. But
it's okay.
Yeah,
we love you.
Carr. I'll just go with Carr.
Smart move.
Anyway, but we're not talking about Derek Carr any goddamn more. We're talking about the Chiefs. They have a long week. They have home field advantage. They shit the bed last week. They can take control of the division this week. And they're doing it. Stu, what do you think? I don't care what Stu thinks. I just told you what's going to happen.
Colin Cowherd said it best. When the temperature is over 41 degrees, Alex Smith is a great quarterback. Under 41, he is awful. We're getting to the point in the season where Alex Smith is going to start choking. I'm taking Kansas City here this week just because I don't think the Broncos are good. Yeah, their defense came in all touted. They're not stopping anybody that I've seen the last couple games. But you watch, Alex Smith is going to go.
Don't you talk bad about Alex Smith.
Don't
you do it.
He's going down.
He is not going down.
Going down.
Oh, no, he's
wait,
throwing
I'm sorry. We don't even throw stuff yet. It's Tim's turn. Chiefs Broncos.
I won this, by the way. This is my football, just so you know. Broncos, talk about a show pony with no substance. Horrible team, not playing well. Maybe it's the lack of oxygen, when they're home. I don't know. Or maybe it's the, recreational other things. I don't know. But what I'm thinking is they need a come to Jesus moment, and I think it's too late in the season for it to happen. I think you're going to see the Chiefs just kick the crap out of them.
Okay,
I think it's close.
Quick overall question. Is the level of play down in the NFL, and is that due basically to injuries to the stars, or... Because I watched 4 games this weekend, in complete games, all 4 of them, because I'm standing around, helping my mom recover, and none of them were exciting. There was very little pizzazz to it, and I'm sitting there going to myself, is it me, or is the level of play down? Is it because, I don't know, Aaron Rodgers and, Luke Kuechly are out, J.J. Watt, or is it just that it's not the game that it used to be?
There's too many teams. They're getting injured, absolutely. I mean, every week, two major stars are going down, whether it's a lineman or a quarterback. It's top-tier athletes losing, their entire knee, and that seems to be the injury of the day.
Well, it sure is for the Vikes.
Besides the concussions, but every time someone goes down, they could be untouched. A non-contact play.
Edelman was hurt without anyone on him.
Are they over?
Teddy Bridgewater, baby.
Yeah.
Are they over-conditioned? I mean, are they just so taught that there's no slack? I mean, I don't know what's going on. I think there's way too many teams. I think you cut 4 teams from the league. The Jets, and the Niners.
And the Cowboys. Hate them. Goodbye, Jerry Jones.
But it's not just to the stars. But there's been some great games. I mean, there's been some great finishes. And the problem is you got 32 teams and 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah, there's something to that, Tim.
I think it's kind of like a neighborhood, where people move in and they stay for a long time. A good team is a good team for a number of years in a row, and what we have here is like turnover. For example, Denver, they got lucky and they got Manning, from the Colts, and they were good for a while, so they're always in your mind. They always stuck around. The Patriots are an example of a house that's getting ready to turn over, to be frank. The new couple's going to move in there, and no one in the neighborhood's going to know who the hell they are for a while. Right?
Are they foreign? Who are they?
They don't smell right.
Should we bring them some brownies?
Exactly. So what you have here in the NFL is turnover, where you have dominant teams no longer being dominant because the guys that made them dominant are now out of the game. The sad part is the guys that should be running the show with the young guys that are good, they're just not good 2 years in a row. Cam Newton. So it's just a matter of turnover.
Now, does this seem fair to you? That's all I want to ask. Ed, you back there?
Hang on a minute.
Well, yeah, but he drinks girly little drinks.
Well, yeah, but you know what? The
I'm
reason
just
this still
saying,
has beer in it is because I had to turn
did I
and
end up
reach
with this thing?
behind
And
me
he
to
has
get it. I had to make
He
an
has a
effort.
garbage bag.
That's a member mug.
I have this.
No, I had to make an effort to get to this, and I'm lazy. Therefore, it's still here. Yours is right there. It's gone in a minute. I've seen it 100 times.
That's electric football.
Believe it or not.
Love it or hate it, that's what it is.
See you next week.
Watch football.